Hey up, morning, up for sunrise. I think you can pretty much see that we didn't get any colour. Yeah, that were about 5 minutes ago. In fact, when we arrived, it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. So when I say when I arrived here, where do I specifically mean? I'm at Sandsend. I'm still on the North Yorkshire coast, just a few miles from Whitby. I'm looking over my shoulder, I can actually see the abbey up on the headland over there. The last time I was here, it was just a big expanse of sand. I mean, including the name, it's Sandsend, you know, it used to be a big golden beach. We've had a few storms over winter and yeah, it looks like it's just actually washed away all the sand. All we've got is a messy, pebbly foreshore, which I'm not overly happy with. There's some lovely old textured rotting groins, just a post sticking up, usually out of the sand. That looks really nice. As a composition, that looks really appealing. So yeah, I'm just trying to make the most of what we actually have got. If we haven't got the sky and we haven't got the groins that I had in mind, what can I work with? And to be honest, that's one of the lessons. Don't fixate on getting one particular shot. Okay, I had my heart set on a glorious burning sunrise. I had my heart set on golden sands and these wooden posts sticking up out of it, but it's not to be. So do I abandon the location? Do I waste the fact that my alarm went off at an ungodly hour to get here? Or do I make the most of what's in front of me? So what I do have as I've walked along the beach is you've got this little river that basically runs out. Behind you there's a road bridge, it comes through there, it runs out, goes out to sea. And what it's done is, between the rocks and what little sand there is, it's created these little rivulets, these little patterns and shapes. There's a little bit of white water, some little rapids. So yeah, I'm trying to work them into my composition. I've walked around handheld, just having a quick look, see which ones I like. There's one just over here where there's sort of multiple paths, multiple little rivers going, little streams going out to sea. Quite like that one. But the second composition I've got, and I think I've pretty much plonked for this one. I've pretty much got my tripod nailed down and I'm really liking it. Is this one here. You've got the water running either side and you've got this almost arrowhead shaped piece of sand, well, it's quite gritty sand and rocks. Plenty of texture in the sky, just no colour. You never know, the sun might break through. Let's say it's about 5 minutes now, 10 minutes since sun should have come up. Yeah, so let's have a look and I'll talk you through the composition. Well, I hope you can see this arrowhead shape that I'm talking about, that I'm finding so pleasing. The water running either side. Yeah, so as far as the composition goes, I've got this boulder in the foreground, I've got this arrowhead shape, I've got the rocks with the water, the little bits of white water leading off into the distance. We've got that sky, quite moody, plenty of texture. It's a shame there's no colour, but yeah, that texture, it just adds to it. At least it's not a grey, flat, monotonous sky. Otherwise, to be honest, I'd have been back at those wooden groins, those wooden sticks, trying to make something a bit more minimalist, a bit fine-arty. But as it stands, this is what I'm getting. Right, so you've jumped into my EVF and you can see exactly what I can see. Obviously, the first thing you'll notice is I've gone vertical because of the sort of shape, the way this composition lends itself. So yeah, up there you'll also see this nice red sand, I think it's a sandstone boulder in the foreground. Really liking that foreground interest. And then you've got this white water flowing either side of this arrowhead shaped promontory in the middle, this lump of gritty sand and boulders. And then up into the distance, we've got this lovely textured sky. Keep saying it, shame about the colour, but at least there's some texture there. As far as my settings go, at the moment I'm getting a 1 second exposure. That's giving me some movement in the water, which I really like. When we first got here, it was still dark, so that would dragged a lot longer. The temptation, of course, with low light was to go for a more open aperture, maybe f8, something like that, but I'm actually at f14, and that's purely to help with the depth of field. That boulder in the foreground, yeah, it's quite a long way between that and infinity for the sky. So yeah, my f14. My ISO, I always try and go as low as possible. My base ISO, which on this camera, Z7, is 64. But you know, a bit of a tip there, just try and keep it as low as possible. Don't get hung up on if you have to increase your ISO. Modern cameras, you can go fairly high before you'll get any discernible noise. But yeah, it's just good practice to keep it as low as possible. So okay, that's my composition. I think it works, the water leading off into the distance, that arrowhead shape. So if the shot's any good, here it comes now. Right, okay, I'm going to wade through this stream. We're going to have a bit of a look and see if we can find any more compositions on these old groins. I actually thought the tide was going out, but I think it's coming in, which yeah, I think that's going to be to our advantage. So yeah, see if we get some waves lapping around these old wooden posts. Yeah, I've moved up the beach. The tide's coming in, and I've got these old wooden groins. It's just, well, there's not much left but posts, and I'm going for some relatively long exposure shots. I might go fine art. Yeah, I'll spin you around. Oh, and there's Mr. Peck. Yeah, it's still up here from Essex. You may note the natty headwear that he's wearing. He's got his ceremonial flat cap on. I made him an honorary Yorkshireman yesterday. You can't go swanning around with that Essex accent for as long as he has done in Yorkshire without getting noticed, so I'm just hoping he'll blend in. Right, if you look over on my shoulder, you should see these wooden posts. I was drawn to these because you've got a bit of a, if I go up higher you might be able to see it. Oh, it's difficult. Let's have a look. There we go. You've got like a V shape going on, which I'm really liking. And as I said, I might blend out that horizon. I might just blend it into the sky. I quite like that minimalist look, and you don't get that sharp, contrasty line. We'll see. Yeah, let's have a look in the camera and see what settings I'm using. Okay, so I've got a 2-stop ND on at the moment, and that's giving me a 4-second exposure. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the wave to come in, as just happened then, and then I'm firing off the shutter just as these bubbles start to slowly roll back, just sort of drag out those shapes. I've also got the polarizer on because there's some of these lovely orange rocks under the water, which hopefully you can see. On the Osmo you can see all that glare. Maybe hopefully on the back of the screen perhaps you can just see that the glare's being killed by the polarizer. Oh, the top of my wellies are getting lapped through water now, so I'm going to quickly get these shots and I'm going to move back up the shore. I'm not really sure if you can see behind me, hopefully. So you've got the headland with the abbey, with Whitby Abbey on it, and we're getting some amazing god rays, crespecular rays, just coming down. Oh man, that looks good. If they just move over slightly to that left-hand side, be shining over the abbey, god rays over the abbey. Oh come on, that's just got to be made for a photographer. I've very, very quickly changed lens. I've got the 24-200 on. Yeah, it's more of a snapshot than anything else, but when the light's that good, I've just quickly got to get a shot. I'm racing against time, really. Yeah, I found another little composition. I managed to get 3 posts, isolate 3 posts. 3 always looks good, odd numbers always look good. But between it, you've got another set of groins, which there's one that's like got a bridging piece across it, which I really like the look of. And then you've got the abbey in the background, and we keep getting those crespecular rays, is that what they're called? Let me know down below. God rays, light beams, whatever you want to call them. Keep getting them. Keep breaking in that cloud and keep getting the light coming through. It's really good. I'm struggling a bit now though. As I said, the tide were coming in. I got myself nicely set up, but of course the waves now are starting to lap around the base of the tripod. So I'm getting movement, and at the moment I'm getting a 3-second exposure. I think there's going to be too much movement and shift, and I'm going to get some blurred images. So I keep firing off shots, and hopefully one of them's a winner. So yeah, if these images are any good, here they come now. In the end, I can't really consider this anything more than just a simple snapshot. Those moving sands and that fleeting light just made this image really difficult to capture. I think it's only fair though to share some of my disasters as well as triumphs, so here's the image in all its ugly glory. This one's caught my eye because the thing that's different about this one is it's got some old ropes. I think it's an old fishing net that's tangled up, or just some old rope. It's obviously washed up, and yeah, it's wrapped around one of the posts. It's different, but it's giving me some challenges. Every time a wave hits it, it's obviously floating, so it's moving. That makes any long exposures that I want to do just that little bit more tricky. Not sure if this shot's going to work. The tide's still racing in at the moment, so I'm going to move back further up the beach, but yeah, we'll keep moving and we'll see what we get. Right, I'm all packed up and ready to go. You can probably tell by that harsh light on my face and these long shadows. We've had the best of the light. It's risen now above those clouds that were above the Abbey and giving us those lovely light rays. So yeah, it's just harsh, bright morning sunlight. So I think it's time to go get some breakfast. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a penny, and I always say this, I do really appreciate it. So until next time, from Sandsend, North Yorkshire, I'll be seeing you.